goes live. It's already live. Well, as of now, but we're still connecting to all of our streams.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Daisy. Always our tech queen, per usual, wearing many hats in the Suma world. You're our tech queen, our student, pero for everyone tuning in, hi everyone, welcome to Jefa Power Hour number 5. Today is a super duper special one because we are guiding you through the last 4 modules of our Suma Jefa Business Bootcamp 2024. Cue the applause. Yay! So as we've been saying in our newsletters and in our socials, we're definitely very proud of you all for going through the journey, being here with us. So definitely be proud of yourselves, Jefas. But before we can get to all the good, beautiful celebrations that we have in mind and plan for you all, we still have modules 9 through 12 to cover today. So here we go. While we allow people to trickle into the space, our check-in question for today is, what Jefa move have you enacted lately? In other words, ¿qué han hecho for your business or even for yourselves, right? Like that ultimate Jefa move that you feel very proud of, that either led to an accomplishment, something you feel happy with. What is your Jefa move? Let us know wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Instagram Live, YouTube Live, LinkedIn, Facebook. Let us.
All of the platforms. Yeah. Wow. I'm so excited for this power hour. And I don't know. What would be a Jefa move that you have enacted, Maestra Angelica?
That is a good question. I think I need time to think myself. What is a Jefa move that I have enacted lately? Okay, you know what? This one isn't necessarily related to business, but it is a personal Jefa move that I enacted lately.
Okay.
So let me tell you. En enero, I came back, I had done a sabbatical in Mexico. I came back and I was just roaming through life back in the States, and I wanted something to do for myself. So I got into Pilates.
Oh
And
my gosh. I love Pilates. What?
same, same. So I had never been active prior to Pilates this year. So from January until now, I have been going almost on a daily basis. However, sometimes life gets heavy, things happen. I had missed my Pilates class for almost an entire week. And yesterday, despite being tired, I did push myself to go to my Pilates class. And I think that's my Jefa power move, right? It's like what made me happy, pushing myself despite el cansancio, despite anything, and just saying, I'm going to do this for me. And I felt so good.
Ooh, that is a good business move. Okay, because it's like personal development.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, actually, I'll give you one.
Mhm.
I have a move that I've been enacting lately, and it was honestly thanks to Suma, Suma's resources, being involved at Suma, learning about Suma. It's almost like being in the Suma circle makes you contagious to all of the good habits about finances. So one of my Sumo moves was actually opening up another account with my like my LLC number. I think it's like the ITIN number. I forget what we call it, but
Mhm. Mhm.
opening one there and putting my first $100 in there. I know it's not much, but I really want to start, having money flow through my LLC, and hopefully that could help me in the future with, I don't know, with anything else that I need, with making sure that my business, once I start growing the fundamentals of it better, letting it flow easier.
Mhm.
So, and I'm keeping this account separate from like my savings account, keeping it separate from my checkings account, from any other account. This one's just like on its own.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I hope that's the first step in helping me build, credit or build something with the bank. So hopefully one day when I do need either a loan or I don't know. It sounds it'll help me. But that is a heifer move that I recently enacted.
Oh,
resources.
it's a powerful Hefa move. That is amazing. I know, and I know you had mentioned, right, it's only $100, no es mucho, but honestly, it's all, I think I've been told by folks, right, it always takes like that first dollar, right? It always takes like that first amount. And I think even that alone is like a huge accomplishment. So I'm proud of you. I will say.
Thank
I'm
you.
like,
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of you. Yeah. And, what you mentioned also is related to a lot of topics that we will be covering today, including building your business financials and diversifying your income streams, right? So, and legal foundations, right? So, even just in your response alone too, like we have so many aspects of the HIFA Business Bootcamp that we will be covering today. So I'm very happy. I'm proud of you. And I me dices how it goes. I was
Thank
like,
you. Thanks, Maestra. Yeah, all of these lessons and being in the Suma circle, it helps. It's been helping me. So thanks.
yeah, of course. Pero con eso dicho, can we check into the chats and kind of see what jefas are saying? I'm very
Absolutely.
curious. Okay. So
Yeah.
what
So,
jefas
in, yeah, on Instagram, we have one of our audience members say, thanks to Suma, I started a retirement savings account. So that's my Jefa move of the year. Woo! Today, we
Yeah.
applaud.
Yeah. Again, amazing, right? I think a veces in our community, like we don't oftentimes talk about money, right? Or talk about retirement accounts, starting businesses, starting LLC. So the fact that Suma specifically offers that space for us to come forward and not just talk about it, but also share our successes together, I think that is so powerful and that is so beautiful.
It's important. Yeah, for
Yeah.
Latinos, it's important for our community. Absolutely.
Yay. Any other jefas saying any other jefa moves that they've made?
Well, let's check our chats. No, that is it for our jefas.
No. Okay. Well, again, super duper amazing accomplishments. I hope all of you tuning in also have your accomplishments, right, that you're proud of. And again, remember, right, part of being a jefa isn't always doing accomplishments within the business realm. It's also having personal accomplishments, right? Doing those little things like the personal self-care, opening up your account, right? Depositing the first $25, $100 into something that's going to help you personally grow and be
Even
successful.
research, even just reading and researching about jefa moves. Yep, all of it.
Exactly. So here we go. We always get so inspired, Daisy and I were like, yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Pero let's go ahead and get started officially. So welcome all of our jefas watching. This is Power Hour number 5 with your Suma Maestra Angelica and Daisy, who is our Suma student, but also our tech queen, creative strategist. Again, we wouldn't be able to do this without Daisy and the team. So here we go. Today's agenda includes reviewing lessons number 9 through 12. Lesson 9 focuses on legal foundations. Lesson 10, it focuses on becoming a thought leader. 11, on building your financial plan. And number 12, very special, it is graduation time. And we do want to recognize and give you all that beautiful recognition that you deserve for going through the course with us. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Yeah, and just give us 1 second. I want to make sure that the screen is good. Daisy?
Yeah. So I'll turn off my camera, and that way we can keep the screen the same size.
Okay, sounds good. I will call in Daisy when I need Daisy.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So, per usual, I always like to start sessions by giving a huge thank you to Ashley Kay. Of course, she is the author of Jefa in Training, which is the book that inspired the entire Suma Jefa Business Bootcamp course 2024. Without Ashley Kay, this would not have been possible. So, again, Ashley, if you're tuning in, mil gracias. Thank you so, so much for your work, your energy, your ideas. Team Suma and I appreciate you so much. And with that said, want to go ahead and remind our jefas watching that the Suma Jefa Business Bootcamp does consist of 12 video lessons. Please keep in mind that if you want your very special Suma Jefa Business Bootcamp certificate in collaboration with ASU, you must complete all 12 of 12 quizzes. Okay. So once again, you will not receive your certification for the bootcamp if you do not complete all 12 of 12 quizzes. So one thing I want to ask all HIFAs to do, those of you tuning in, is please make sure that you check your emails, right? Check your inbox, check your spam. If you're going through all 12 of 12 courses, make sure that you have that confirmation email. Once you have all 12, then that means that you have successfully completed the course and the certificate will be out soon. If you're wondering where they are, we're still slightly working on them, so no worries. They are on their way soon. I will keep you updated more on that. But again, as long as you complete 12 of 12 courses on our end at Team Summa, we know that those are our HEFA graduates and we will be sending out your certificate. So please, please, please make sure that you do all 12 of 12 quizzes. And Daisy, what's something special that we have planned as well, in addition to the certificate coming up September 25th?
Yes, something that we have very exciting planned on top of the certificates is a graduation.
Yes. Okay.
Graduation.
And what do we have planned for the graduation? What are some little ideas that we have there that will
We
be
have
announced soon?
we have a keynote speaker, which is super exciting because, having somebody else who also represents a jefa herself and represents like such good success is always a plus. And I'm super excited to talk to her so all of you can, get some inspiration and some jefa power moves from herself.
Yeah, and we're super duper excited here at Team Summa. We love this HEFA. Again, announcement is coming soon, so please be on the lookout. But again, before you get your graduation invitation, before you get your certificate, Daisy, what must our HEFAs do?
You must complete all of the 12 quizzes. And then also, I believe, turning in the worksheets, correct?
The worksheets, it's more for the self. So not necessarily, yeah.
Okay.
We do recommend though, if you want to get the full benefit of the course, definitely completing the worksheets, either having them downloaded and working on them as PDFs on your computer or printing them and working on them hard copy. But the most important thing for certification would be completing all 12 of 12 quizzes.
So complete all of the 12 quizzes before the graduation day. Don't procrastinate. I know I've procrastinated, but don't procrastinate like me. And turn them in, turn your quizzes in, click submit. And that way you can get your certificate and you can be featured and come to the graduation.
And actually, again, Team Summa and I, we've been working really hard, right, to make this like a really special celebration. So we do know of a few jefas who have completed the course. You will be hearing more about their stories soon as well. So we will be highlighting graduating jefas. If you want to be a part of all the celebration, please do make sure that you complete the course 12 of 12 quizzes.
Like the valedictorians. We're going to have our own valedictorian jefas. So
everyone's a valedictorian here.
Oh, that's sweet.
Alrighty, but here we go. We're gonna go ahead and continue. And Daisy, I will call you back when needed. Muchas gracias.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get started. Module number 9 was all about business legal foundations. So having a solid legal foundation is essential for building a sustainable business. Keep in mind that having a strong legal foundation also protects you from any mishaps that may happen along the way. So you want to make sure that you are protected. Some common business entity types for small business owners are, and actually, Daisy, I'm going to call you right back in because I can't say the first one. So
this one is sole proprietorships.
And you know what? While we're at it, can you help me with the other two as well?
Sole proprietorships, LLCs or limited liability corporations, and nonprofit organizations.
Gracias, Daisy. I did tell Daisy, I'm like, I'm going to need help with this one. So if you're like me and you can't say sole proprietorship or we're on the same boat. But yeah, right. So these are the 3 different entity types typically used for small businesses. So let's go ahead and dive deeper into what makes these different from one another and which ones you should consider for your business depending on the type. Okay, Daisy, I'm gonna need your help again. This one's loaded.
Ooh, I love this topic. Yeah. No, sole proprietorships. This one's really good for all of you jefas who basically have smaller businesses, is barely starting out. It's basically that moment where you haven't yet registered your business, so there's no legal separation between you and your business. Some of the pros for this is that if you have a low risk, entity, like if you do tutoring classes, if you even do like plumbing services, if you have a tamales business that you only sell to, your neighbors, then this is really good to start off. It's low cost. There is not many legal, ramifications and things you have to file for. And it's really good for starting out. But of course, like all the other ones, there's ways that you can improve by getting an entity and filing for paperwork. And I think this one is good if you are not ready to take that step yet.
Yeah, no, 100% agree, right? The only thing I would say here, and I don't know if this is me speaking from like my own perspective, right? I don't know if jefas watching feel this way, but for me, I tend to get really anxious about like my money and my protection. So I think for me, when I think about this one, sí me da un poco de ansiedad, right? When it says there's no legal separation between you and your business. So
Yeah.
that takes us to an LLC, which does create that separation between the self and the business, right? So an LLC, can you tell us what it stands for again, Daisy? What is an
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, limited liability corporation.
Thank you. Right. So the limited liability corporation does protect you by separating your personal assets from your business assets. Right. So again, your savings account, checkings account, that is all yours versus you have one specifically for your business. And if hopefully not, but if something happens to your business and let's say you lose your money or something happens, your personal assets are kept safe because you have the legal protection of the LLC. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, again, if your business faces bankruptcy, lawsuits, any of that, your personal assets will not be affected. I think for me personally, if I were a jefa, right, and going through my own business, I would feel more comfortable with the LLC. But again, that's just a personal choice. I do get very anxious about protecting myself, my assets, right? So, yeah, I was like, not to be biased, but I kind of like the idea of an LLC. And yeah, here we go. Here are some LLC takeaways. Daisy, would you mind helping me
Yeah.
check out what the takeaways are?
So, medium to high risk business ideas, personal and business asset separation, and you can obtain certain tax benefits. So, with this one, it is really good if you are a company or you're trying to start a company with maybe 1 to 2 employees. Maybe you do hire people here and here and there to help you with this business. Even helps you if you're hiring your own, family members. Definitely makes it a lot easier for you to apply to grants, to apply to loans, for the business. Helps you with a lot of legal filing of things. There is a business and personal asset separation, which does mean there are going to be more steps at the end of the year to file taxes and make sure you're putting exactly what you're spending on, like writing down all these things. So a lot of more bookkeeping, but it helps you, like, in case there is like I don't want to say lawsuit, but if there is any issues legally, you won't personally be responsible for that. It'll be your business, like in the courting system, it'll be your business that takes on all of those legal ramifications. And then of course, my favorite is getting certain tax benefits. This is why I actually started my own bank account and everything with the LLC, because at the end of the year, let's say you do need to get resources for it, such as equipment. If you have to, if you do refunds or anything within, financial, then you can obtain tax benefits, tax cuts, things like that at the end of the year, which could really, really help you with growing as a business owner, as a jefa.
Yeah, and I want to dive a little bit deeper into that. In terms of tax cuts, like what exactly is that, or like what does that mean? How can jefas like retain more of their wealth with a tax cut?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm not too financially sure of this, but I know that a tax cut basically means that at the end of the year, what you have to pay taxes will get reduced. So whatever you file into the IRS, let's say you owe 10% of your earnings, that's and you made, let's say you made 6,000. So at the end of the year, you have to pay 600. But if you have, things that you bought, such as your innovations for your business or things that you just needed, and they give you a tax cut, then instead of paying 600, maybe you'll pay 300, maybe you'll pay half of it, maybe you'll get reimbursed. I'm not sure too much, and I will find out at the end of the year. I will be finding out what kind of tax benefits I can even receive. But yeah, I think those are some of them. Also, if you do donations, if you made donations, if you created scholarships, things like that, maybe through your organization, your business, and perhaps then you could also get tax cuts. But yeah, I think those are great. Do you know any more tax benefits maybe?
Not specific tax benefits, but my understanding, and again, Jefas watching, we're still learning ourselves, right? So we have to do more digging. But my understanding is that with the tax breaks, your taxable income is like reduced in some degree, right? So basically, that's why when it comes to taxes, you pay less because technically all of your expenses count as expenses. So whatever they tax you in becomes less. So let's say if you made 60,000, technically after accounting for expenses, you might get, I don't know, taxed for like 40,000 or 50,000, right? So that's kind of like a benefit. At least that's the way I understand tax breaks, right? That taxable income.
Yes. I'm
Exists.
actually, you know what? Fun fact, I'm actually helping my mom with this right now. She
Oh,
has a second property and she
okay.
rents out to people. And so one of the things that I started helping her do is bookkeeping and helping her with that. So
Mhm.
this year I was able to help her implement background checks on the tenants, things like that. And all of that, and she made like improvements to the home before getting it rented out. So I told her, I was like, give me all the receipts, give me everything, and at the end of the year that taxable income can come really really low, and it could just help her as a jefa herself. She doesn't realize she's a jefa, she's an
Yeah.
immigrant mom and everything. She doesn't understand these concepts, but now knowing through Suma all of these concepts, it
Mhm.
could help her like financially not
Yeah.
feel like she's sinking in a hole.
Yeah, I love that. And I love your observation there, right? I think our community has a lot of jefas, right? We know a lot of jefas, but sometimes we don't even know that we're jefas while we're being jefas, if that makes sense, right? So I love that observation. But again, right, knowledge is power, which is what we've been saying in the newsletters. The more we learn, the more we can truly help each other, right? So, and that's what we're here for, right? This space at the end of the day is for that, so that as jefas, as Latinas, right, as like entrepreneurial spirits, we can really talk about these topics that maybe we don't always get to discuss in our regular life within our friends or circles, right? So, yeah, no, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that part of your life, Daisy. Super duper cool. Y te digo, I love that observation. And it's true, right? We have a lot of jefas and there is a lot of power within our communities. And I think that's important to recognize. So here we go. They I always get so inspired by you. I'm like, yeah,
I love you too.
I'm always like, yes. So moving on. Let's go ahead and talk about the next business legal foundation. This would be a nonprofit, also known as charities and foundations. These tend to be mission driven organizations that are established to do social good. So, Daisy, do you know anything about nonprofits in terms of like what are some benefits, like why they would be good for?
Yeah, maybe a good one. Oh, and I learned this from your Power Hour number 4 or number 3 actually. Number 3
Mhm.
is that you can apply to grants easier. There's a lot more grants out there available for nonprofits. As
Mhm.
you know, nonprofits are a really good way for, let's just say, for the rich to get tax
Mhm.
benefits. And so if
Mhm.
you are a nonprofit yourself, not only are you doing social good, but you can receive a lot of grants, and that could be very beneficial to not get in debt, to have free money out there. And nevertheless, if you yourself, if you're a nonprofit and you do donations, ooh, I bet those tax benefits are great. I think churches operate as nonprofits, and
Oh.
we know sometimes that churches can have really good, I guess, like benefits. I'm not sure, like income based. So.
Wow. No, thank you for sharing. I'm telling you, this is all really important information, right? And here with the HIFA Business Bootcamp, we're really here to provide the foundations, right? By any means, we are not lawyers. We are not professionals in the field.
We're just HIFAs. Yeah.
Opening up the space, right? That's what we are. We're here, Jefas, opening up the space, even starting the conversation, right? Understanding the difference, even if it's at a basic level between the difference. I can never say it. Sole proprietorship.
Sole proprietorship.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is your maestra here, but there we go. LLCs and nonprofits. So with that said, right, keeping in mind that, yes, this is still an introductory course, right? We're still learning. By no means have we gotten into the nitty gritty of the legal foundations. But let's go ahead and reflect a little. Based on what we did learn on Module 9, our question for all you Jefas watching is this. Based on your current business or business idea, which type of business entity do you think is best for your business? So we have option A. Daisy, help me out with that one.
Sole proprietorship.
There we go. We have option B, which is an LLC, limited liability company, or we have option C, which is a nonprofit. So let's go ahead and play some music. Let's give our Jefas tuning in a couple of minutes to answer this question.
Let's do it. I'm about to play some music and let it be on the background. Uh-oh. Did you hear that? Was that just on me?
No, I hear it.
Okay, there we go. I got scared, like a flat tire, a flat computer tire. Yeah, that's which business? Yeah, I guess everybody's. Oh, okay. Comprende Latino said LLC.
Oh.
Maruka. Oh my gosh, I love Maruka. Maruka, who are you? Because you have been so amazing during our lives. Maruka said LLC.
I think we need to highlight Maruka as our one of our Jefa graduates. Maruka getting
Maruka's Antojitos. Send us a DM. Let us know, things about your business. We would love to highlight you. We would love to send us your email. How about that? Send us your email, Maruka.
I think I have spoken to Maruka. Maruka, I know you. I see you. Resend me an email and let's touch base. I would love to highlight you as one of our Jefas, especially graduating Jefas. So yes, we appreciate you here at Zuma. Know that we see you and we're excited to be on this journey with you. So see, I feel like most people, right, those who have shared, they like the LLC structure, the legal.
Yeah, they do.
I like it as well. I especially like the protection, right? Of like my personal assets are separate versus my business assets. That makes me sleep better, I think, at night.
Definitely, me too. I feel like it's a really good middle ground. It's a really good place to be at. I'm like, okay, LLC still feels professional and it feels like everything can be set up. And until I make it grow and do something with it, like I could live with that LLC for years. I feel comfortable in that space too.
Yes, no, exactly. So I think we have one of our favorite types of business entities within the space. So thank you everyone for participating in this reflection question. Let's go ahead and continue because we have 30 minutes left. And I do want to make sure that we go through all of our beautiful slides that we created today. Shout out to Sophia, our great graphic designer. If you're watching, we appreciate you, Sophia. But let's go back into the content. So here we go. Module number 10 was all about becoming a thought leader. So it is really, really important to clarify that a thought leader is not just a trusted expert in their industry, but also one that has a unique POV and brings new ideas to the table. Having strong thought leadership makes it easier to grow your community and convert those followers into paying customers, right? So think of your thought leader as a very, very strong figure for your business, right? Someone that is going to bring visibility, trust, and really grow that community to, again, how do you convert, right, a community into customers? And here in Module 10, we actually discussed the know, like, trust framework. So let's go ahead and first start with the know part of the framework, right? So the know section of this framework is all about knowing you, right? So like knowing yourself, knowing what you bring to the table, honestly, knowing your values, right? As a leader, as someone who is going to have influence and power in our society, right? Economically speaking, socially speaking, culturally speaking, what values do you want to be known for? And how can you increase your own brand's awareness through those values, right? What do you really want your brand to be known for? That's important to consider. The second part of the framework is like, right? So getting people to like you, super duper important. Not just to like you, but like your business. We've discussed this in other modules, right? And other video lessons throughout the course. Just the importance of growing your community and really making people feel like people, right? So humanizing your brand, really letting your customers know. Again, you are not just a dollar sign to me, right? You are a human with feelings and emotions, but most importantly, a human that values what I have to offer. And therefore, I value what you bring to me as well, right? So, really nurturing that part of your community and really being liked. By others, I think is important, and the humanizing piece, right? Finally, we have the trust part. Being a strong thought leader means that you are able to build trust within the community. Ideally, it would be great to build a lot of trust within your target audience, right? Your target customers, but also building trust outside of that space. So, again, all of these things together, knowing yourself, being liked, right? Building that trust really, really creates a strong thought leader. So, Daisy, I'm going to call you back in again. Daisy? Oh.
I'm here. Small lag. Sorry.
Don't leave me.
No.
All right, so here we go. Let's jump into our next reflection question. So,
Okay.
using the know, like, trust framework, what is one value that is at the forefront of your own thought leadership?
Okay.
So, Jefas, watching this, please go ahead and take some time to answer this question. As you answer, Daisy and I will reflect on our own thought leadership, right?
I like this reflection. I think this is a deeper one.
Mhm.
This is a deeper one using the know, like, trust framework.
What if we do this? What if we put some music and while our jefas think about their question or the question and answer, we can do that too. What if we write?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Okay.
do it.
I'm down for it.
All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and take some time to collaboratively answer this question.
You know what, Angelica? I do have a question about this one. So, becoming a thought leader, right? Um, how does somebody establish themselves as a thought leader? What are the
Mhm.
what are the ways? I think
Mhm.
I feel like I have an idea and I didn't consider even what I do as being a thought leader. But now that I'm in this slide and learning with you, I'm like, wait, okay,
Mhm.
that is a possibility. How do I use this framework to like make it better?
That is a really, really good question. And my brain is like it's spinning, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many ways I can answer this. But my first gut feeling is telling me that what we're doing here, this activity, actually is a big part to answering that question, right? So, for example, aquí in my journal, I wrote intentional representation. That is what I want to be known for as a thought leader, right? So, what I mean by that is because my culture, I'm Mexican American, right? I'm Latina in the US, first gen. That's always going to be important to me in anything that I do. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes, I feel like, yes, we're being represented through brands, right? Even big corporations, but is it intentional, right? Is it honest? Is it authentic? And I think for me, that part is really important, right? That intentionality. How are we being represented? How are we being listened to? So I think for me, right, it's like knowing myself in that part and knowing like this is the type of leader not only do I want to be, but like actively choose to be, right? Whether it's always researching, always knowing, always listening to my community, which is who I want to serve. That's a big part of it, right? I think it's not just showing up, but like actively, ¿cómo te lo pongo? Like standing in that worth, right? Or like standing in that truth. What is your truth and how do you want to be known for? And actually, in our module, in our video lesson, I believe it was America Ferreira, right, who was like represented as the thought leader. Not only is she representing Latinas or has she represented Latinas on screen, but off screen, she's also been a big advocate for the Latino, Latina community, right? So
Yeah.
again, not only is she acting on film, but she's actively choosing to be that strong voice for our community outside of that work environment and that space. So I think that's where my brain goes, right? When we think about this question, it's not just how you want to be known for, knowing yourself, but also actively choosing to be that,
I
whatever
like
that
this
means.
one. I like this one.
Mhm.
Could you give me an example of how you would answer this question? That way I can like, okay, let me see how I can frame my question,
Of
my answer. Yeah.
And again, when like I'll even show you all. This is as far as I got, right? But I think step one to answering this question is knowing yourself. So dig deep, right? Dig deep inside your heart. I know this is corny, right? And I know we're in business mode, and sometimes
It's
queens,
corny.
they tend to not be as valued in business. But at the end of the day, my arguments, right, or like the way I see things is like we're all humans, right? There's emotion in there. So know yourself, right? What is something that
No me vas a caer llorar. I'm going to be crying on camera during this entire reflection question.
but because I think, especially when I think of jefas, right? When I think of myself, right? When I do things in the world, I like being intentional. And I think a lot of entrepreneurial jefas, there was that feeling inside, right? That idea that struck their minds, that struck their hearts. And that's what made them say, like, I want to do this, right? Again, there's a problem I want to fix, right? So like knowing yourself is key. Again, when you dig deep, right? When you dig inside of who you are and your purpose, right? Kind of like your North Star for your business. What is a value that, again, connect the value to the problem, right?
Okay.
Why is that problem important to you? And like, why do you value solving that problem in the way that you want to solve it? Again, for me, the problem was how Latinas are being represented. Again, this has been my issue for years, right? It's like, I don't always think that it's intentional. Sometimes I think it's performative, right? So knowing that and understanding that, it's like, how can I fix that, right? It's like, how can I step in and try to create something for my business or myself that tries to fix that, right? Again, now, will I succeed in intentional representation? Quien sabe? Because I think that's also subjective, right? What I think is intentional representation might not be intentional for others. But I think that's the key here, though, right? It's like digging inside of yourself. What is the problem that you wanted to fix with your business? And what is like that key value, right? That you're always going to bring forward in solving that problem.
Thank you. Okay.
Right. Did you think about it for yourself?
I'm a little all over the place, but I would like to, continue. I have like my own little podcast or my own little series on YouTube that I post here and there. I would like to be known as, a Latina that can motivate others, that can open up your mind to new ideas, things that we didn't know before. And I would like, to be, I don't know, I guess just to keep expanding that, whether it's from any different aspect. I think we were talking earlier about even in the beauty space, like from the STEM standpoint, like the biology, the chemistry behind beauty brands, and just using whatever I know to speak up and let it be known.
Yeah, and I'm gonna push a little bit more here, Daisy, because I really loved our conversation earlier, and I think we should let Jefas know more in depth about that conversation, because I think you're being, what's the word? A little too not what's the I'm like,
Humble. I'm being too humble about it.
yeah, I agree. So I'm going to amplify this because I think it's beautiful and amazing, like what you have in mind. And I want our jefas to know, because that's what we're here for, right?
Okay.
So jefas watching and tuning in, earlier, Daisy and I were chatting, and me estaba platicando sobre this brand, right? That, ¿cómo se llama? Wait, are we?
Miel Organics.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go, right? And Daisy, I had never heard of it, right? So Daisy was like, "Oh, have you heard of this? It's like really big in the beauty industry right now." Y yo le dije, "Pues no, no sé, right? Tell me more about it." And as she was telling me the story, she mentioned that, what's the story right now, Daisy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was, in online, there's a lot of lawsuits right now towards that brand because it's been causing hair loss to a lot of people, and a lot of women have been coming forth to complain about it and finally joining a lawsuit. But in my opinion, like, I didn't have hair loss, but I did notice that the product's quality had reduced over the amount of months that I have bought so many bottles. And I had bought a similar product that does a similar thing, but it's a competitor and it has more organic ingredients. Now, for me, I'm not a lot of people know this, but I worked in the manufacturing space of beauty brands. So I actually worked with the raw materials, the formulations, the chemistry behind it, the actual production and the packaging of beauty brands. And so I had a lot of knowledge of what's going on in the lab, like when they're actually creating these formulas. And I noticed in the back of the bottle the difference of the ingredients. And I was like, and there's a lot that people don't know about ingredients that actually get swapped and changed during production that are not in the labels, that are not in we call them inky labels, that are not in the inky labels. And so they got bought off. Miel was a small business, like many jefas. She was a, African American small business owner wanting to target curly haired girls. And well, with time, she got really, really big. She blew up and she sold it off to P&G. And there has been speculations that P&G, changed something in their formulation. People can't pinpoint it, but for sure, like, I can see, like, even some of the ingredients in the back, a lot of people can't pronounce. It's like a lot of dimethicones, a lot of silicones, things like that. And so there's even a difference in the texture. Like, I can feel it. Like, whenever I put it on like, I start noticing and digesting all of the little things in beauty products, whether it's tackiness, smell, whatever. And I noticed that versus the organic one, the one that I see the inky list, and it's less products, but I can feel even the difference. And so that translate to all of this, and it makes sense then whenever people get the product and they experience it. So being a Latina who has had that experience in the background, like, I haven't voiced that enough, like, I don't speak about it enough. But even whenever I was talking to Angelica, she was surprised. She was like, I didn't even know this was a thing. And I was like, oh yeah, you know what, maybe this is just like a thing I'm interested in, or I see, or I research, or I whatever. But it would be fun to tap into that while I'm online, like, not just try on the products and like, look how pretty they look, but go behind the science behind it. Look, this opens up your your hair follicles because of this chemical, or this does this, so it slides easy, it glides through, and it makes your hair grow. Things like that, I think I could do. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. And, in addition to that, right, when we think about the know, like, trust, like, choosing and actively, so Daisy is a STEM girly, right? She's a STEM, like, that is her academic major, studied, practice. So that's a big part of this, right? When we connect it back to, like, this idea of thought leadership, specifically going, connecting it to this idea of looking at beauty brands and the makeup industry through the lens of a Latina in STEM, there's a lot of, like, thoughts behind that, right? It's not just I'm saying it because I'm saying it, but, like, I have, Daisy, right, has her academic background, that professional experience. So she does have a lot of validation, right? Like, there is a lot of depth there and a lot of thought. And that's really what a thought leader is, right? Also, disclaimer, I'm not sure if we're supposed to, but, like, we don't know all of this, right? These are like
these are speculations. Yeah, I mean, this is still ongoing. There hasn't been, it's still ongoing. So again, this is just based on what the news is,
Right.
trending topic. Yeah.
But I found that super cool because, you know, in the beauty industry, like I keep up with some of it myself. And like, I don't think I've ever seen a Latina with a STEM background, you know, diving into the science of what can be impacting these beauty products, right?
Yeah, I haven't either. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even, yeah, I haven't seen this either. And I worked with Latinas who were in this, but they, you know, they don't have online, like they don't go online to speak about it. They just kind of work. They just stay to their work. But I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's very gate kept.
Yeah. And again, right, I think that's why these spaces are important for all of us, right? And like including myself, including Daisy in this, like we're all Jefas in this together. And I think the beautiful thing about the Jefa Business Bootcamp at SUMA is that we truly have been learning collectively, right? Like as a group, as we're putting on all these beautiful presentations for you, going through the slides, right? We also have a lot of internal thoughts that then we can also share with you. And yeah, I just wanted to amplify that part with Daisy because yeah, when she told me that information and the way, you know, she framed it and positioned it, I was like, this is amazing. You're a thought leader. Like I need to make this known. So yeah, you know, again, going back to the question, right? It's like know, like, trust framework, right? Know yourself, know your values, know your worth, right? Make sure that you are authentically being liked, verdad? It's really important to, again, like do things authentically too, right? Because I think the more authentic you are, the more like people gravitate to you naturally, right? It's like that likeness comes through, and definitely the trusting part. You know, I think that's important too. So let's go ahead and continue. I'm telling you, Daisy, with you, I'm always like, oh my God.
Hola.
Pero we do have to finish this, so let's
go. Yes.
You want to stay on with me? Porque why not, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, all right, Jefa. So we do have 13 minutes left, and we do want to make sure we go through this. So module 11, which is technically the last informational educational module of the course, it's all about building your business financial plan. So Daisy, can you tell us a little bit more as to what this means? Feel free to read on the slide.
Yeah. Building your business financial plan is going to be important for bookkeeping, for understanding what your goals are financially. If you want to be able to run a successful business, you have to be comfortable with setting key performance indicators, KPIs, and numbers. So don't be afraid to see your bank account, even if you're at $10, $0, negative, even if you're in the negative. Know realistically where you are at so you can understand, make an entire plan, follow that plan, and see the growth. Numbers are so important when it comes to a business because without the numbers, everything is just magical. Everything is just made up, right? So you have to be able to dive into the numbers, have the numbers solid, and that is going to be key with a financial plan.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, my head is spinning right now. I'm like, I have so many things to say, but we're pressed on time. So here we go. Exactly. Ditto everything that Daisy mentioned, right? Super duper important. Again, understanding your money is key, right? Especially as jefas, you must understand how much money is coming in and how much money is leaving, right? Also, what's your return on investment? Obviously, right, for a successful business, you do want to be at a point where you have more money coming in than now, right? Like you want to have more profit than losses. But one key thing that I do want to point out that Daisy mentioned just a few seconds ago was, you know, sometimes mujeres, jefas, people in our community, right? At least I've seen it. I don't want to generalize, right? And say that we're all the same. So I will only speak from like my experience and what I have observed. Sometimes I have observed, you know, in my local community, in my local, like, you know, spaces, folks get scared, right? To see those numbers, especially the negatives, right? It's like, no quiero ver porque estoy en deuda. And I'd rather just not. But yeah, like how Daisy mentioned, right? Sometimes like this magical number cannot be a good number. So as scary as it is, right, we do want to encourage you to still look at those numbers and understand them because look, even if it is negative or it isn't good, the good thing about that is that you can create a plan. Remember, things can always change, but you must need to know what you have to change. If you don't know your numbers and there are these magical things floating around, then you can't create a game plan, right? You can't create your business financial plan. So that's where my mind was going when Daisy was speaking. I'm like, absolutely. Like, I wish more people, right, in my community just And I know it's easier said than done, right? Because I don't want to invalidate. I know it's scary. I know it is. But
Mhm.
I also wish our community members could know that beyond that fear, there's action, right? Which is again kind of like a theme of today, right? It's like taking action. And that's the most important part with a financial business plan. That's the action piece that can help you get out of that negative. So,
Yeah.
next slide. Go ahead and add anything. Oh,
Amazing. Yeah, that diversifying of revenue streams. Yeah, multiple streams of income, getting money from different. Yeah, so building a financial plan, you'll be having money coming in from different stuff, from, services you're doing, from the products you're selling, from everything you're doing.
Yeah, and again, right? So for those of you that you're still like no entiendo, like what is diversifying your revenue? Literally, just think of it as like getting money from diferentes lugares, right? Let's say maybe you have a 9 to 5 job, right? And like that is your main source of income, right? It's stable, traditional. Maybe you have your insurance, right? But on top of that, let's say you do start your Jefa business, right? That's a stream of income, your business within itself. Let's say maybe your Jefa business is tutoring for 5 hours a week, right? So think of it very simply, diversifying your revenue streams, different income streams, revenues. It's basically just getting money from different sides. And the cool thing about diversifying your money is that it can also act as a safety guide, right? Just in case. Again, ojalá que no pase, but let's say you lose your 9 to 5, or something happens and that's not available anymore. By having different revenue streams, you're able to still stay afloat because money is coming in. And the same applies with your business, right? You can actually have revenue streams, different places to get money from your business. So let's go ahead and take a look more in terms of what that means. Here's an example of how to diversify your income stream with a service-based business. And by service, it literally means that, in this case, the service is el cafecito, right? Vendemos el cafecito. That's the service that we're providing. So different ways that you can diversify that business income stream can be by selling cute merch. It can be by hosting events at your location, right? So charging for the venue, maybe renting it, selling the tickets, hosting workshops, right? Maybe you're very knowledgeable on el cafecito y el granito, and then you want to host a workshop on that. Those are different ways that you can diversify a service-based business.
I didn't think about that, but you're right. There's been a coffee shop in my town that's been opening up events left and right. I love it. It's in a bad, not bad, but previously bad neighborhood in Houston. And now that place has really brought in the art, the culture, everything. They have jazz nights, they've got art nights, got everything. And now I think about it, I'm sure that business owner is making a good amount of revenue stream from just hosting and letting other creators in the city bring their events on there. No, it's awesome. Yeah, smart move, smart Jefa move.
100%. And that's why we're here, right? We're here to give people the business chisme. I mean, that's what the course was for, right? It's
What
like
the business owners are doing. Yeah.
exactly. And I think it's time that us as jefas, we start learning, right? And like applying these things too, because it's important. And again, we deserve it as well. So that's just one example, right? Of diversifying your business income specifically for service based. Now, let's take a look at a product, right? Aquí, I put fashion store, but let's make it a little more specific. Let's say your product is, I don't know,
Oh,
go ahead.
I'll get it like fragrance, like a fragrance store.
Okay, fragrance store. Let's see. So, with a fragrance store, what are you selling? What's the product?
It could be candles. You could start off with candles, and
Mm-hmm.
then you could start expanding into perfumes or body oils. You
Mm-hmm.
could even expand to car scents. You could expand
Mm-hmm.
to home fragrances,
Mm-hmm.
sprays, kind of like a Bath and Body Works. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure they started somewhere, and then now they've
Yeah.
expanded the fragrance store to more fragrances, specific lines per season, and different types of products that deliver those scents.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny you say Bath and Body, because I'm like, girl, that's literally what I imagined when you were like going through those motions. I'm like, so Bath and Body?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, right. So again, these are just some examples. People can get so creative, and you never know, right? It's like you can try an idea, it can work, it cannot, but that's why you put all of these business basics together, right? It's really a collective, holistic picture, right? These are all different elements, but when you put them together, that's really when the magic happens, right? The financial plan goes hand in hand with the business legal foundations. It goes hand in hand with knowing your customer. It goes hand in hand with like market research, right? So everything that we've done in the course is really coming together to not only create your business, but make it successful, right? And keep it running, keep it going, because that's really what we want for all of you, right? To be successful and truly go through the motions of this beautiful journey, even post HEFA Business Bootcamp, right? That's really important. So let's see. I think for the sake of time, Hefas, we will go ahead and skip this reflection question because, are you ready, Daisy, for that little request?
I'm about to be ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yay! I know. I'm not a dancer, so I can't dance. I'm sorry, everyone. I was like, I'm not going to try to bob here. My friends know this. If you're watching, any of my friends, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't.
It's graduation time.
Yay! All right, Hefas, this is it, right? Like we've been telling you, we've been here through the journey. I can't believe myself that we are done through the entire English version of the HEFA Business Bootcamp. SUMA 2024, right? SUMAversity. We are very proud of you here. Again, Team SUMA and I, myself, Daisy, everyone that you haven't even seen on screen, right? Behind the scenes, we have been rooting for you. We have been thinking of you. Again, Maruka, we know you.
Really?
We love you. We adore you, right? We've seen you be so present, so active. I've seen all those emails. So just know that certificates are coming. I will make sure that that is out. If you haven't gotten it, do not worry. That is on its way. We have a lot of fun programming to celebrate this huge accomplishment. So for the sake of time, let's just go ahead and get into all the beautiful things that are up next. Because again, we are done with all of the modules, but we are not by any means done with the HEFA Business Bootcamp just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Not our power hours. So here we go. Daisy, I'm going to need your help because I got so excited there.
Yeah. So we're super excited to announce that we are going to be having a HEFA graduation for all of you who have completed the course. So make sure that you revisit and review chapters and worksheets as needed, because we know the work never ends. As a HEFA, you always want to stay on top of things, ponerte las pilas. So revisit and review the chapters, complete all of the 12 quizzes so you can receive your certification. And I'm excited for the certification. The certificate itself is super cute. It's got really good, it's gonna have your name on it, really fun. And then also, yes, it is sponsored, I think, by ASU, right? Arizona State University. So
yeah, it's in collaboration with ASU. So yeah, we're super excited. Again, if you have not received your certificate, please do not worry. We're still working on those. They will be on their way. The most important part on Team SUMA's end is just really making sure that you complete those 12 of 12 quizzes. Again, I cannot stress enough. Hefas, please make sure that you go back into your spam, that you check your inbox. You want to make sure that you have all 12 of 12 emails confirming that you finished your quiz, because on our end, that is how we are able to track our graduates, right?
Yes, we're able to have our data. So make sure you always check spam and report this is not junk, so we can make sure that we are giving you the right information.
Okay, but before we get to our graduation, which I'm super excited about, Daisy and I have been planning, we've been thinking, we're still brainstorming. It's going to be fun, going to be beautiful. Pero we wanted to go ahead and share this with you. It was already shared on Monday's post, but just to remind you, we still have Power Hour, HEFA Power Hour number 6 coming up. This is going to take place September 18th, same time from 4 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, 7 to 8 Pacific. Eastern.
Yeah.
all the PM, same time, like, anyway, 4 to 5, 7 to 8, West Coast, East Coast. Yeah, we're going to have our business a la madrina. Again, the person that without her work, without her book, Jefa and training, this would not have been possible at all. We're going to have Ashley K with us. So once again, Ashley, if you're watching and tuning in, super duper excited. Can't wait to have the platica, me, you, Daisy, our jefas. We're super duper excited for that. So please, if you're interested in that, make sure that you have all 12 of 12 quizzes completed by next Wednesday, September 18th. Daisy, do you want to add anything there?
Other than that, if you would like to ask any questions to Ashley and us for that Power Hour number 6, join our chat, get in our group channel, our broadcast channel on Instagram, and send us some questions there. I will be posting poll questions. I'll be posting some open-ended questions. So definitely let us know. Our little private Q&A does sometimes get priority. So if I see your questions there, we're able to push them faster onto our lives and you get more visibility. So definitely give us that. If you have any questions, join our chat and ask us there.
I love that. Okay. So so that's Power Hour number 6. Now, once again, kind of going back, jefas tuning in, take this as your official invitation, that official push from myself, from Daisy, from Team Suma. We really want to make sure that we have as many jefas as possible in this graduation. Again, right? It's like the journey is better when we're together, juntas, siempre. We have a very, very, very special, very powerful, beautiful, right? Like jefa keynote speaker that will be joining us. We will be announcing her soon. Graduation will happen September 25th, once again from 4 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, 7 to 8 Eastern Time. Let's see. Should we mention that this is the first Sumaversity graduation that's gonna take, right?
Of course, yes, absolutely, yes. This is the first graduation we're having, our virtual graduation. So be a part of it. Be a part of the Suma team. Come with us, and screenshot whenever you get in the graduation. So.
Yes, y con eso dicho, we are going to start a new little series, I believe starting this week, where we will be highlighting graduating jefas. This means that if you reach out to me, and I don't know if there's a space, I'm going to try leaving it. Is there a chat? Let me see if I can.
Yes, of course. I can put it in our chat, but
aquí estoy como maestra, like the good teacher that I am. I'm always like,
yeah.
Okay, so I left my email there. Any of you jefas, if you know that you have already completed the entire course, you've checked out the video lessons, you've done the worksheets, and most importantly, you've done the 12 of 12 quizzes, and you would like to be highlighted as our graduating jefa, please send me an email. I will get back to you with the details that I will need and that Team Suma needs so that we can highlight you on our Instagram. Again, this is a celebration. We want to make it special. We have enjoyed our time with you all. We really want to make this as celebratory as possible, as special as possible, and as personable as possible, right? So we're excited. Daisy, feel free to add anything that I missed, anything that you'd like to add.
I will see you next time, and I'll see you on graduation. All of you. So join in.
Well, first Ashley K, luego graduation.
First Ashley K, but I'll see you in the next Power Hour, luego graduation.
Yeah. So again, if you're interested in being highlighted and being, showcased and like being celebrated, email me at angelica@sumawealth.com. I will make sure to get back to you. Jessica, if you're watching this, I will get back to you soon. Keep an eye out for your email. That is our first actually graduating jefa. So congratulations. And with all of those announcements, I think that takes us to the end. My slide is freezing slightly here, but yeah, that's it for us, jefas. We don't have anything else other than congratulations. Again, if you haven't finished the course but are interested in that certificate, you're interested in attending graduation, being highlighted, please make sure that you complete all 12 of 12 quizzes. You have my email. Feel free to reach out. We will make sure to get those certificates to you as soon as possible. So
Thank you. Thank you, Hefas. Thank you, everyone in the chats. Sending you all our blessings, and I hope to see you next time. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
Bye.